I chose to interview someone that is a friend of mine that works in a therapist office. She does medication management, but she also offers um, therapy sessions as well. Um, Her name is Kathy Spears, and her job title is she's an APRN, but with a specializing with a PMHNP. So she does medication management, psychiatry type work. Her degree is a master's in nursing with an emphasis in mental health. And her job duties are to provide a therapeutic milieu for clients so they feel comfortable about opening up about their mental health issues. Another job duty that she mentioned was to provide therapeutic conversation with clients, helping them challenge negative thought processes. And she does do medication management to provide relief of mental health symptoms while monitoring for adverse effects. When I asked her what she found fulfilling about working in the industry, her answer to me was that whenever someone comes in broken, to watch them transform and to watch them over time be someone that truly enjoys life, has learned the coping skills they need to learn in order to get where they want to be in life and can teach them to others. When I asked her what she found challenging about working in the industry, she said meeting people where they're at and to move at their pace. Another struggle that she has is non-compliance with medications and appointments. And when I asked her, what do you do to continue professional growth in the field? She said that there are things that she does, but she is a newly graduated student, so that just started this role. She has a background in nursing and labor and delivery, and has just recently taken on the mental health field, and so she's not had a chance to continue, like, as far as schooling goes. But she did tell me that she is subscribed to magazines and articles related to medications and best practices. She does meet with drug reps regarding new medications and new treatments for clients. And she is always searching out continuing education opportunities. Her recommendation for students that are pursuing work in the field is to try to have an open mind about clientele you want to help in the field. We may not always help or treat the clientele that we think that we will. There may be other clientele that we reach out to that we had no idea that we would reach out to. And so she said to keep an open mind about that. Don't be focused on just helping one specific class of clientele. There can be so many others that we may reach out to that doesn't even fit what we generally thought we would work in our clientele field. She also said to learn as much from your clients as they can learn from you. She was telling me that when clients come to us, they're not just coming to us just so that they can, it's not just about them gaining knowledge from us. We can also learn things by talking to them as well. And we can even figure out, other techniques and things that may be of good use to help with other clients by helping clients out. So she also said another recommendation she gave was to not set unrealistic expectations on clients. They're human, and don't set unrealistic expectations because small changes can make big differences. So she was telling me don't make your expectations so high that you can't see that the small things also are a big victory as well. And they need to know that the small things are a big victory. So to be careful about setting unrealistic or high expectations on them. What I learned from this, interviewing her, I'm glad that I chose her. She was great with the interview. She's great anyways. But when I was talking to her, just things that went through my mind and things that I was thinking about is just some points that she made that put emphasis for me, because I'm going into this field. It put an emphasis on things that I need to pay attention to in the future. One of the things that I learned is that continuing education is very important to keep up and to know what's going on with current practices, changes maybe to methods, new treatment plans, things of that sort. Continuing education is like a priority and something that needs to be done to make sure that I am current with what's going on, so that I can make sure that my clients get the best care. The other thing that she talked about was the importance of meeting people where they're at. And that really, I was glad that she hit on that. She, had mentioned that it can be challenging to always do that, but it's important to find ways to do so in order to ensure clients are getting the best treatment. And I had even mentioned to her in the interview that I was glad that she mentioned that, because I feel like, to be honest, that's something that I have worried that I may struggle with, just because, I'm human. And so her bringing that up and, just saying it's important, just to meet them where they're at, I was glad that she brought that up. And it made me realize that that's important for me to know. And that's something that I learned, is that meeting people where they're at, it's important. Also, the importance and value of keeping an open mind in therapy. I'm glad that she touched on that as well, because I've had it in my mind that I'm going to have like this certain group of people. But when she said that, it made me realize that I may have other clientele that I may not even have maybe thought that I would have. And I learned to keep an open mind, and I'm glad that she brought that point out. She also said not to get too caught up with thinking there will only be one chosen group of clientele, which I just covered that. There might be others that we could reach and could help, so not to get so focused on that. And not to set unrealistic expectations on clients. I'm glad that she mentioned that. I learned that it's important to realize that they're human just like we are. And so that makes a big difference when we don't set unrealistic expectations. Make sure that the treatment plans and the goals that we set for them is realistic and it's not out of bounds, especially for a new client that's coming in. You don't want to just bombard them all at once with making big changes, because the small changes, they make big differences. So I was kind of glad she brought that out. I learned a lot from the interview, and I'm glad that I did this with her. She was an excellent one to choose from, and she gave me a lot of things to think about for my future. So I enjoyed this interview, and it was a learning point for me.